Good evening. My name is Adaryll Moore. I'll be doing a model lesson on literacy using close reading, using the text The Giver as the anchor text, using close reading to read around unknown words to help you figure out the meaning of the unknown word using the text without using the dictionary or a thesaurus. The Giver is by Lois Lowery. The students will use context clues and infer utilizing a summary text sheet to define new words, construct, and create 3 sentences about the text we use for the giver using 3 of the new vocabulary words. The objectives for this lesson, please repeat after me, students. The student will be able to utilize context clues and inferencing using summary text from our anchor text, The Giver by Lois Lowery, to construct the meaning in their own words using text of the unknown words in the text, aka our vocabulary for chapters 4 through 6. Student will be able to read chapter 6 with clarity of the giver independently and with the peer after defining assigned vocabulary using the 4-square method, which provokes them to use context clues and inferencing within the text to get the meaning of the unknown words in the text, focusing on chapter 6 using close reading strategies. Our vocabulary will be ritual, release, community, volunteer, ceremony, interdependence, nurturer, appealed, routine, urban myth. For your do now, you all went ahead and you used other words from the previous lesson to review. Now let's just look at the depth of knowledge wheel and compare yourself to Jonas telling me one thing you both do. Differentiate between his culture and community and our world. Introduce all the words. So, of course, we know that Jonas is living in a utopia world, which is a quote-unquote perfect world. And we know our reality is not a perfect world. But in the story, we realize that everything is done perfectly. Anything that's not perfect, they get rid of it. So between our community, we're realistic. We're not a utopia. In the world, it's a utopia, which means unrealistic. Everything's perfect. So today we're going to use the 4-square method. I'm going to show you how to do that, which is using a vocabulary word, using the meaning in your own words in the second box. Third box is word association, and I'm going to model that for you on the PowerPoint. And then the last one will be visual. This is to help you remember what the unknown words mean. And we're going to use close reading strategies to figure out the meaning of the unknown word. That means using words around it in the paragraphs in front, near it, and after to help figure out the meaning of the unknown word. And I'm going to model that for you doing the think aloud. And so then we'll do it together, and then you're going to do it independently for chapter 6. So let's begin. We know our expectations for class. We respect one another. We listen attentively. We participate. And we utilize the strategies and the anchor charts around the wall in the classroom. So the first word I'm going to model for you is going to be ritual. And in the text, it says, at breakfast, Jonas and his family go through yet another ritual telling their dreams. So I know from reading before, I'm doing a think aloud, from reading before that this is something they do every day. When they eat together, they tell this story. So that means it's something on an ongoing basis. And that's for the word ritual. So I have ritual here. It's a little blurry, but you'll be able to see it on the PowerPoint attached in the email. And of course, the students, if I was doing a live lesson, they'll see it on the PowerPoint on the smart board. So in the first box, I have my 4 squares, which will fold a sheet of paper into 4 squares. And the first box is the word ritual. Then in my definition of my own words, based on what I read in my close reading from the chapter summary, traditions within a community or culture done in a special way, repeatedly in the same order. Word association, this is where you can use synonyms or antonyms or situations that will relate back to the word to help you remember the meaning of the word. So for my word association, I have marriage, graduation, and birthday. These are things done on an ongoing basis in our society, in our community. And my visual is I have a picture of a married couple. So that's for the word ritual. And you saw me model reading it from the summary text to get the meaning of the word ritual. And of course, I'm doing a think aloud. I'm acting like a student, like you all, to be able to, so you can hear me think aloud and how to process using the words around the unknown word. The next word I'm going to do is released. So I'm going to move down to another chapter summary where it's dealing with the word released. The woman at the front desk reports that they celebrated a release earlier that day. And in parentheses, it says, remember, being old is one of the non-disgraceful reasons for being released. Jonas heads to the bathing room to join Asher and Fiona. On the way, he realizes that he didn't rack up all his volunteer hours in one place. The way that Benjamin Guy did, he basically tried out all of the community jobs. This means he has no idea assignment he'll get at the ceremony. Once in the bathing room, Jonas sets to bathing an old woman. It reminds him of the way his father bathed the baby Gabriel last night. He knows it's against the rules for any person to see another person naked except for babies and the elderly. This no being naked rule seems useless to him. So we know that from reading before that Jonas's dad, which we discussed, is he's like a doctor working at the hospital, and he took Gabriel home because Gabriel was going to be released because he wasn't born as a perfect baby. So we know the word release means to get rid of, to let go based on the text. Someone old, if we think about in our community, and I'm doing a think aloud, when someone's very old, normally they pass away, it's death. Okay. Now we don't, babies, if they're not born perfect in our community, we don't get rid of them, but in their community, they get released, which means they're let go. So I have the word release in the first box. Definition in my own words: to let go, no longer here or there. My word association, which again are synonyms and antonyms for the word. And I have death, let go. And I have brake, like when you release the brake in the car, it means to let go so the car can move forward. And for my visual, I have the car moving forward because the brake was released. So now we're going to do the we do part. And we're going to use two words. We're going to do community together. So this so you can do the you do individually on your own. So again, just to reiterate, we're using the 4-square method to define words, unknown words that we don't know in the text. And we're going to do close reading to read back in the anchor text, the giver, to use words surrounding the unknown word to help us figure out the meaning of that unknown word. That's the purpose of our close reading, so we can execute the 4-square method that I have modeled for you today.